So last time on Independence, we had a nice gentle cruise out from Igina Island all the way to Missolonghi and a little bit further afterwards. But this week, things turn a little bit downhill. According to Murphy, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. We actually learned that the hard way. It all started with a couple of gentle days of cruising in Greece when we were passing the Canal of Lefkas. So, long narrow stretch. Yeah, nice canal, very shallow all around. And we were basically trying to avoid this spot or avoid Lefkas because the last time we were there, the drawbridge broke down and we got stuck for 3 days. So that ain't gonna happen to us again. So this time we just wanted to browse through, keep going right away. So either way, we made it through the first half of the channel and then stopped just in front of the drawbridge and were idling around for a bit. When at some point we put the boat in forward and nothing happened. So we learned our shaft had, well, no thrust basically. So the marina didn't want to tow us back in because we were outside the marine limits by about 5 meters. Only chance we had on the short term was to drop the anchor right in the middle of the channel, which is obviously not a place you want to be in. Plus the channel is so silky that you do drag anchor and the wind was picking up. So of course everything hit in the same time. And we were slowly dragging out of the channel into a sandbank and were also slowly running aground. In the meantime, the marina told us to call the harbor master, so I did that. The harbor master was like, well, are you sure you want to report that? Because once you did, there's no turning back and then you have to fix it before you can keep going. I figured, well, we can't go anywhere without fixing this anyway, so might as well report it and hope for some help. Turns out, they did take the report, but they wouldn't help us. So ended up calling a boat rental. So I was offering to rent a speedboat with the captain for 2 hours. So they would be busy for about 5 minutes and bring us to the marina where the marineros would take over. We would get towed to a dock and then get things fixed. They came with a big powerboat and said, no, we can't do it. I guess it was around about that time that the marineros felt so sorry for us that they by themselves decided to come out and pull us into the marina. So that worked out, and what we found out or what we learned was that the key, so basically a small metal piece that's connecting the flange on the shaft to the shaft itself, had fallen out. So the gearbox was working, the engine was working, everything was fine. It was just the connection to the shaft that was loose. So while one piece was turning, the other one wouldn't, which means no drive on the shaft. So we pulled in 2-3 mechanics by the end of it. 2 of them said nothing they can do, and the third one said, easy, I can fix this. But unfortunately all he did was to change the set screw, which is looking like a solution for the short term, but it's not really doing the trick. Anyways, it got us out of Lefkas and we kept going. Went into Corfu by the end of it, and well, it was around about that time when we released our crew from before and we got Jill from Switzerland to join us for a long transit. Well, we were planning to go into Albania after Greece, turned out that Albania was kind of on lockdown, and if we were to go into Albania, we couldn't get into Croatia. So we figured, okay, we have to skip Albania, go straight to Montenegro. But Montenegro would accept us, only that if we were to check into Montenegro, once we go into Croatia, we would have to go into quarantine for 2 weeks inside the marina. So that was not really a nice option. So we figured, okay, we'll go straight into Croatia. So that was a 2-day nice sail, but that you can see for yourself. Hello. So it's been about 24 hours since we left Lefkas. No. Wow, Corfu, Gubia Marina is where we signed out. We've been underway since. Right now we actually managed to catch a southerly breeze, so we are out sailing. Have a look. Hey guys, so we are about 30 hours into our transit up to Croatia, and it looks promising that we actually get in tomorrow morning into Nonstop around 9 o'clock, which is pretty much exactly when the breeze is starting. Right now it's a little bit rolly, but wind and waves are on our side, so that's good. And second sunset of the trip is coming up, so enjoy. Well, and then we finally arrived in Croatia, and more specifically in Cavtat, so the southernmost check-in point in Croatia, which is even further south than Dubrovnik. Cute little place, we've been there a few times before and never had any issues. Nice anchorage in the north of it, and that's where we were aiming for. Everybody was really tired and knocked out. So we just went there, dropped the anchor, got some sleep. Because it was a bit windy, Pina and myself, we took turns staying outside and keeping an eye on things just in case we would drag, because really we had enough things going wrong in the last days before, so we didn't want to take any risk. Anyways, so after a full day of rest and no rest, and Jill went for a swim in between and was really excited about that, we figured, okay, let's get one good night of sleep everyone, and then tomorrow we drop off Jill. We keep going. But yeah, I did one last round on deck, and just after sunset really, looked around and there was thunderstorms all around. So that didn't look all too promising. I figured, okay, I'll just stay outside for another 10 minutes or so and see how the whole situation is evolving. And turns out the whole situation went to shite. So about 5 minutes later, there was gusts of 80 knots coming down the mountains, and in this anchorage all around us there was big super yachts. So around about, let's say 30 to above 100 meters, big guys. And with all these really strong gusts, everyone started dragging anchor. Some of them were having dance parties with bright lights on deck all over. But ultimately, all the boats, all the small ones and the big ones were moving. Nobody had navigation lights on yet, but all these big things were moving all around us. So we heaved the anchor as well. We tried to re-anchor once, but in these gusts, there was just no way this was gonna work. So we figured, okay, screw it. We're just gonna motor around this bay for 2 hours. The storm can't last forever, it has to come down eventually. And then we re-anchor and we go to sleep. Yeah, after about, I think an hour and a half it was that we motored around through all this, and nothing had changed. We said, okay, screw it, we'll head out to sea. And sure enough, once we were out of the bay, things did calm down quite a bit, and we decided to go for a beautiful midnight cruise past the walls of Dubrovnik and anchor around there. So we anchored in front of Dubrovnik for the night, got a good night's sleep. We now thankfully stayed out and kept an eye on the buoy that was fairly close to us. We didn't move a centimeter the entire night, so that was great. But the next day we said, okay, that's enough. We need to get rest. So we made the decision to go into the ACI Marina in Dubrovnik, possibly one of the most expensive spots you could park in the entire Mediterranean. And so we did. Beautiful area. So the motor trip up the little river was absolutely stunning. Gorgeous, really. And well, they designated us a parking spot all the way in the back. So we came in, and well, Jill on the bow, Bernard on the stern, getting ready to throw lines, catch lines. And just as I was switching into reverse to stop the boat, nothing. Same problem that we had in Lefkas before came up again, and nothing moved. So we slowly were stopped by the wind. The wind slowly pushed us back. We were just pushing ourselves away from the other boats, tied up, and said, okay, it doesn't matter. We'll sleep now, we'll deal with it later. In fact, Jill ran off the boat as fast as she could. Can't blame him, really. Yeah, and we managed to meet some nice guys in Dubrovnik. They actually gave us a tour out of the marina with their sailing boat, because it would have cost us about 100 euros a night just to stay there.
Hi Manuel. It looks like you're driving.
Kind of, with limited maneuverability. Feels like a Myanmar flashback.
And they took us to a friend who had a pier just next door to the marina, and we were hanging out there for almost a week because the owner was on a regatta at the moment, and they had a really nice workshop. But in order to fix our problem properly and get the shaft key back into its spot, they actually had to lift us out of the water, which was another little headache, but they happened to have a crane as well. So ultimately we were sitting there hanging in slings, having the shaft pulled, doing all of this halfway in the water because we were too heavy and too big for the crane to get us out all the way. But thank God, in the end, it all worked out. And this is where things started to go really well. And we made our way up to the first national park in Millet that we were gonna visit. And that actually was also our last stop before we picked up our first volunteers for the actual research work that we started in Croatia. But all of that next week. So here's just a little preview. See you next time. By the way, don't forget to hit the like button, do click subscribe if you haven't already. If you hit the little bell next door, you will also get notifications every time we do upload a new video. And do comment, do share, it really does help us a lot. So thank you for that. See you next time. Bye.